Shalom, good evening. This is TV7 Israel News broadcast to you from Jerusalem. Jerusalem's leadership asserts that it will not restrain itself while the Islamic Republic of Iran and its proxies launch blatant attacks against Israeli territory. U.S. President Donald Trump instructs CENTCOM to end its offensive against the Houthis in Yemen. The Islamic Republic of Iran threatens the United States over prospects of a kinetic strike against Tehran's nuclear program. Jerusalem will not restrain itself while the Islamic Republic of Iran and its proxies launch blatant attacks against Israel. Following Israel's retaliatory strikes against strategic infrastructure, which the Iranian proxy Ansar Allah, which is dominated by the Houthi tribe in Yemen, utilized for the purpose of advancing terror activities, Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz asserted that the consecutive strikes came in response to the ballistic missile fire that landed in the vicinity of Israel's Ben Gurion International Airport.
ארגון הטרור החותי ניסה לפגוע בנמל התעופה בן גוריון, ובתגובה השמדנו היום את שדה התעופה בצנעא. בנוסף פגענו גם במטרות נוספות, בהמשך לתקיפות אתמול בנמל חודדה ובתשתיות לאומיות נוספות שפגענו בהן.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu elaborated on Israel's uncompromising resolve to protect its sovereignty, citizens, and national integrity by holding those responsible for attacking the state of Israel.
אמרתי פעמים רבות שמי שתוקף את מדינת ישראל דמו בראשו. אתמול אמרתי שהתקיפה של החות'ים תענה לא בזבנג וגמרנו, אלא בזבנגים. אז אתמול נתנו זבנג, מכה קשה, לנמל חודדה. היום מטוסינו תקפו את שדה התעופה בסנעא, שדה התעופה שמאפשר את צבא הטרור ואת הכניסה האווירית למדינת הטרור שמאפשרת את ירי הטילים נגדנו. הבחירה שלנו מתי להגיב, איך להגיב ועל איזה מטרות להגיב, זה שיקול שאנחנו עושים כל פעם, וזה נוגע גם לפטרון של החות'ים, איראן, שבלעדי האישור שלהם והתמיכה שלהם, לאורך זמן החות'ים לא יכולים לקיים את מתקפת הטילים הנפשעת עלינו. הנשיא טראמפ אמר את זה לפני חודש וחצי, אני אומר את זה גם היום. אנחנו נבוא חשבון עם כל מי שתוקף את מדינת ישראל.
Among a long list of other targets, the Israeli Air Force reportedly devastated the Houthi terror army's 1st Armored Division headquarters, along with a major military maintenance base, a research and development installation at the Houthi-controlled Al-Ayman University, and the Seoul International Airport under Houthi control in Yemen's capital Sana'a, which has been completely destroyed.
أضرار كبيرة جدا. تم تدمير مبنى الترحيل بشكل كامل وليس جزئي بما فيه من تجهيزات فنية وأمنية، أجهزة أمنية وأجهزة تفتيش، وجميع التجهيزات داخل المبنى تلفت بشكل كامل. تم تدمير ست طائرات، 3 طائرات تتبع الخطوط الجوية اليمنية، و3 طائرات طائرة تتبع شركة الطيران السعيدة، وطائرة تتبع الرئاسة، وطائرة شحن خاصة بالحكومة اليمنية. بالإضافة إلى المدارج، تم تدمير المدارج يعني بشكل مباشر.
Meanwhile, amid pledges by Houthi officials to retaliate against Israel, U.S. President Donald Trump, during a meeting yesterday with Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney, made a dramatic announcement in which he claimed that the Houthis informed the United States via Omani mediation that they are keen to end hostilities against maritime shipping.
We had some very good news last night. The Houthis have announced that they are not, or they've announced to us at least, that they don't want to fight anymore. They just don't want to fight. And we will honor that. And we will stop the bombings. And they have capitulated, but more importantly, we will take their word. They say they will not be blowing up ships anymore. And that's what the purpose of what we were doing. So that's just news. We just found out about that. So I think that's very, very positive. They were knocking out a lot of ships going, as you know, sailing beautifully down the various seas It wasn't just the canal, it was a lot of other places. And I will accept their word, and we are going to stop the bombing of the Houthis, effective immediately. And Marco, you'll let everybody know that.
President Trump went on to highlight that the end of Houthi hostilities is not a deal, but rather a request to cease fire, which the Houthis subsequently dubbed as a hudna, an Arabic term for truce.
No, it's not a deal. They've said, please don't bomb us anymore, and we're not going to attack your ships.
And where did you hear about that?
It doesn't matter where I hear it. The very good source, I could tell you. Very, very good source. Would you say, Marco? I would say pretty good, right, JD? A very good source. No, they don't want to be. They don't want to be. They don't want to be bombed anymore. You know. Sort of thought that would happen.
Subsequently, during a swearing-in ceremony of U.S. Special Envoy for the Middle East, Steve Witkoff, U.S. President Trump noted that the United States Central Command was informed to halt all offensive action against the Houthis. And when asked about the latest Houthi attacks against Israel, which President Trump was apparently not informed about, the American leader noted that if anything happened between Israel and the Houthis, he would discuss the matter without providing additional details.
We just informed them a little while ago, and all action is stopping. Some people probably haven't heard yet. You know, there are various people in various rather strategic locations. But by this moment, they should just about all know, Marco, I think that the attacks are going to stop both ways. And that's pretty much it. But we've just informed everybody just a little while ago.
To attack Israel, which you said he didn't know about, but if they continue to attack Israel, just not attack...
Well, I'll discuss that if something happens, okay? If something happens with Israel and the Houthis.
It is important to know that earlier today, Israeli Air Force helicopters successfully intercepted an unmanned aerial vehicle that was launched by the Houthis from Yemen. The interception occurred off the coast of Egypt over the Red Sea. No injuries or damage were reported. Meanwhile, amid reports of efforts to coordinate a fourth round of nuclear talks between the United States and Iran in the Sultanate of Oman, President Trump reasserted that the diplomatic discourse has entered into crunch time.
This is really crunch time. I would tell you, for Iran and for their country, this is a very important time for Iran. This is the most important time in the history of Iran for Iran. And I hope they do what's right. I'd love to see a peace deal, a strong peace deal. They cannot have a nuclear weapon, but I would say that this is the single most important period in the history of Iran, which is a long history, and we want it to be a great country. Let it be a tremendously successful, rich country. They have everything you need. The people are incredible. They have vast amounts of oil and assets. We want it to be a successful country. We don't want to do anything that's going to get in the way of that, but they can't have a nuclear weapon. And if they choose to go a different route, it's going to be a very sad thing. And it's something we don't want to have to do, but we have no choice. They're not going to have a nuclear weapon. They're not going to have a nuclear weapon. Do you understand that?
Despite reports of progress, wide-ranging gaps remain, particularly regarding Iran's insistence of maintaining the ability to enrich uranium on its own soil, while the United States does not agree to it. Moreover, the Iranians are unwilling to forgo their ballistic missile program, which includes the development of ballistic missile technology that could ultimately produce intercontinental ballistic missiles capable of carrying nuclear payloads.
لغوی در کار نبود، پیام خاصی نداشت. صرفاً به دلیل مسائل لوجستیک بود. قرار بود این جلسه در کنار مذاکرات غیر مستقیم ایران و آمریکا در اروپا انجام بشه. به دلیل تعویق اون این هم برنامه‌ریزیش دچار مشکل شد. بنابراین حتما ما آماده هستیم که با توافق طرفین جلسه دیگر رو داشته باشیم.
In parallel to Iran's ongoing defiance, demanding far-reaching American concessions that would effectively strip down any tangible restraints from Tehran's nuclear program in the long run, The Iranian defense chiefs and Revolutionary Guards continue to voice threatening messages against the United States in an effort to dissuade Washington from exercising the military option.
اگر به ما حمله بشه، جنگی به ما تحمیل بشه، ما با قدرت پاسخ خواهیم داد. ما منافع اونا رو، پایگاه‌های اونا رو مورد حمله قرار خواهیم داد و در این راستا هیچ ملاحظه‌ای و هیچ محدودیتی قائل نیستیم. ما با کشورهای همسایه هیچ گونه خصومتی نداریم، برادران ما هستن، اما پایگاه‌های آمریکایی اهداف ما هستن.
Thank you for watching TV7 Israel News. I would like to encourage you to take a moment to pray for the hostages who've endured 579 days in Hamas captivity to date. Pray also for the peace of Jerusalem and the salvation of Israel. And separately, if you've been blessed by TV7 Israel, which is exclusively funded by our viewers, please consider supporting our productions. You can donate via our website at www.tv7israelnews.com. I'm Jonathan Hessen, wishing you an Erev Mevorach, and God willing, we'll see you during our next updates. Until then, Shalom from Jerusalem.